Deep in the forests of what is now southern New Hampshire, a powerful Native American leader emerged whose influence would shape Indigenous colonial relations for decades. Though an obscure historical figure today, Passaconaway was an immensely important chief, or Sachem, the Algonquin term for supreme leader, whose life marked a pivotal era of first encounters and tensions between New England's original inhabitants and European settlers. Passaconaway was the great Sachem of the Pennacook Confederacy, a union of Abenaki tribes and bands whose homeland stretched across southern New Hampshire into Massachusetts. Semi-nomadic, they moved seasonally to hunt, fish and farm crops like squash, corn, and beans. Little is known of Passaconaway's early life, but by the 1600s he had become the Pennacook's preeminent leader through heredity and influence, uniting the tribes from his headquarters along the Merrimack River. English settler accounts describe Passaconaway as an imposing figure well over 6 feet tall, with a powerful bear-like build. He kept his hair shaved except for a thick scalp lock on his crown. In 1623, the English explorer Christopher Levered had one of the first documented encounters with Passaconaway near present-day Portland, Maine. Levered wrote of the Sachem delivering booming speeches before his people while draped in black mastiff dog skins. In 1628, Levered sent emissaries to Passaconaway's village seeking the Sachem's permission to establish a colonial presence. Passaconaway ultimately rebuffed their offers of alliance, wary of the English settlers' true territorial ambitions. Over subsequent years, Passaconaway selectively negotiated with some colonists while forcibly resisting others, using a combination of diplomatic prowess, threats, and shows of force to guard Pennacook's sovereignty. To English Puritans and Native people alike, tales soon spread of Passaconaway's shamanistic abilities as a powwow or medicine man. He was said to have accurately foretold his recovery hour during a devastating 1617 epidemic. In 1642, the Puritan writer Samuel Maverick described Passaconaway summoning thunderclouds to gather indoors only to disperse them through admirable art, able to summon storms and foresee the future. Such perceived mastery over nature added to the awe he inspired. Despite conflicts and encroachments, Passaconaway managed to preserve Pennacook autonomy for years through skilled diplomacy and defensive force. Settlers both feared and respected his authority. As he aged in the 1660s, Passaconaway warned his people would ultimately be overwhelmed by settlers. Calling them children of the next day, he urged making peace. When Passaconaway died around 1665-1669 at an advanced age, legends soon emerged among the English colonists about the circumstances of his dramatic passing. According to one popular account, as death neared, the former Sachem announced he would make his exit by ascending into the endless azure sky. On the appointed day, a great thunderstorm arose and Passaconaway went outside to commune with the elemental powers one final time. As lightning flashed, he was swept up into the churning clouds amid claps of thunder, never to be seen again. Other versions claimed his spirit ascended in a chariot of fire or that his body turned a burning flame before disappearing in a blaze of glory. Such fanciful retellings cemented the lore around Passaconaway's otherworldly abilities in the minds of English Puritans and Native Americans alike. Though little known today, Passaconaway was a towering figure who symbolized the tragic demise of New England's indigenous peoples at the hands of European colonizers. His life marked the beginning of an era of conflict, displacement, and cultural extinction that saw the region's original inhabitants overwhelmed by an insatiable wave of white settlement and expansion. Passaconaway's legend endures as a powerful emblem of the proud native civilization that once flourished across the forests and rivers of New England. His prophetic words foretold the violent cycle of bloodshed, oppression, and marginalization that erased that civilization over the ensuing centuries as colonial America seized the continent. More than just an influential leader, Passaconaway represented the defiant, spiritual strength of his people as their ancient ties to the land were severed by an inexorable force. Though ultimately futile against such oppression, his life's struggle for Pennacook sovereignty remains an indelible part of America's true founding story.